A renaissance taking place in Oak Creek. Seems like almost weekly we're announcing new things opening in the city. Fox 6's Ben Handelman says a man at the center of the city's boom deserves some credit. And tonight, he's getting it.
Returning to the place you grew up brings back so many memories.
Once in a while we had some horses get out.
Mike Bolender and Lisa Reed have plenty of stories from these Oak Creek fields.
We would drag a silver saucer behind the snowmobile in the plowed field. It was kind of rough.
Behind each one of them, they have their dad to thank.
Farming has always been in the Bolender family.
Dick Bolender may have had a full-time job at American Family Insurance.
Yeah, the cows used to be over here.
But his first love and passion, farming.
This was where we spent the majority of free time.
If you've ever met a farmer, they tend to fix things themselves. His family did not expect that applied to gripes against City Hall. Mike says it all started with his dad airing frustrations to a neighbor.
When he was complaining about it, they said, well, why don't you do something about it? And he didn't really want to challenge Dad too often, because when he did, he accepted it and he said, you know what, I will. I'm going to run for alderman.
1 year later,
Him running for mayor, I was very proud of him.
Dick Bolender suddenly found himself with a new title, Mayor of Oak Creek. He got right to work.
We couldn't get a birthday present. You know, you had to leave the city to buy someone a birthday present. And he's like, that's not right.
It's kind of funny now that, you know, he said, I've got to get a Red Lobster into Oak Creek, and that's my goal.
Doug Seymour is the city's director of community development. He worked with Bolender for years. He says the new mayor had a big problem to solve: what to do with one massive eyesore. A bag blowing in the wind, one of the only sounds you'll hear these days on the old Delphi site in Oak Creek. The former factory is now just a slab of concrete. This is a story that aired in 2011 on Fox 6, 3 years after the former Delphi factory closed its doors, leaving hundreds without jobs. Maybe it was the farming in his blood. Mayor Bolender saw opportunity in this land.
We're sitting on 85 acres here of developable land, and we hope it to be the town center city of Oak Creek.
If someone would have asked you, well, I'll meet you in downtown Oak Creek, and you would have been hard-pressed to say, well, what is that?
He explains the idea involves moving the city hall and library here and then developing a city center around it. A bold idea in this economy, but the mayor says it's not going to happen overnight.
You need a good plan before you jump in.
Mayor Bolender was really forward-thinking and visionary about what potentially could happen at this site.
If only he got to see it.
I was out on the farm with him. We worked on a vehicle.
2 months after our interview,
I gave my dad a hug and a kiss and told him I love him and I'm proud he's my dad. And he died that night. She actually made him cookies and he had tea, sitting in his favorite rocking chair. That was the way to go for him.
At the age of 68, Dick Bolender unexpectedly passed away.
I prayed that I'd get one more smush hug, as I called him, because he was such a big guy. And now I get him from him.
He may be gone, but his crop was already planted.
We still want to be somewhat iconic in the sense that, well, I'm going to City Hall. Well, where is that? You know, it's roughly at Howell and Drexel, but look for the clock tower.
5 years later, take one look around.
Bel Air Cantina's on that side, Pizza Man's on that side, amongst others.
Everything here has changed.
They'll live down here, they'll shop down here, they'll eat down here, they'll drink down here. They'll be patrons of the library.
At the Drexel Town Square, the multi-million-dollar Civic Center is complete.
There's never been anything like this in Oak Creek.
The finishing touches are being placed in apartments, stores, even the newly installed splash pad. If only Oak Creek had one of Bolender's biggest visions.
I was going back through some old notes and I ran across just a reference to the mayor saying, yeah, I'm going to contact IKEA and see if they want to come to Drexel, what is now Drexel Town Square.
Oh, wait.
IKEA is submitting plans for a Milwaukee area store.
That's on the way, too.
I wish he was here to see this.
The city, once known for having no downtown, finally has one, and so much more.
I think he envisioned something pretty wonderful.
2 kids who grew up on a farm, thankful their father's greatest harvest is still growing.
I think he probably would be surprised how quickly, but I think he always saw that potential and had that vision.
With photojournalist Justin DuBois, Ben Handelman, Fox 6 News.
The Drexel Town Square is about to hit some milestones, by the way. A couple of flagship restaurants set to open in the coming weeks. Those apartments, they're supposed to be occupied by the end of summer. And then IKEA, of course, set to come along in 2018.
Amazing stuff. Imagine, it's incredible what can happen in just 5 years span of time.
I know, the before and afters, you know, it's not just changed that spot, but it's changed the whole city.
Yeah, and in a short period of time too. Well.